And our team of Kimley Horn, we had partners from all over the United States that were experts in what we needed to do in structural and H&H and civil. All of these people came together, and in the very beginning we set the tone with a meeting with the Army Corps of Engineers in May of 2017 and said, we need a permit by fall or the stadium schedule's in jeopardy.
It was a really quick turnaround on the permit. Again, it usually takes 12 to 18 months. We got it done in about 3.5 months. I think we can thank the LA District of the Corps for stepping up and really getting on this permit and recognizing the importance of this permit for the Las Vegas Valley.
Simply put, everyone had to work at the top of their game to get the stadium started. Regional Flood couldn't have done it without Kimley Horn. Kimley Horn needed Mortensen McCarthy, the contractors needed the Raiders, and everyone needed the Army Corps.
There were other pieces. You know, the Army Corps permit was one piece of the puzzle. The plans, the box relocation plans, also had to be permitted through all the agencies and through flood control.
And go into a separate agreement with the Raiders to pay for it.
We entered into an agreement with the Corps wherein we could provide funding to the Corps to allow the permit to be expedited, the review of the permit to be expedited. At the same time, in parallel to that, we entered into an agreement with the Las Vegas Stadium, LLC, for them to provide those funds for us. So we basically took the funds from the Raiders organization and passed it on to the Corps so that that permit review could be expedited. And it wound up trimming the review time down quite a bit. Once the agreements were in place at the end of August, we wound up getting the permit issued in the middle of December. So it took about 3.5 months.
When we came into Las Vegas, I think our main priority was to, create a relationship built on teamwork. That's kind of the organization. That's kind of something that we're really proud of the way we operate. So when we came down here, just understanding that we're all working towards one common goal, the stadium, which really has an impact on the entire Southern Nevada area. So when we came in and, really understanding that we're all, each of us have different areas of expertise, but at the end of the day, in 2020 when we get the stadium, it's going to be something we're really going to be proud of.
I was born and raised in Las Vegas, so I know how great Las Vegas is and how great our partners are, and it was great that the Raiders and everybody got to see that. I think it was fantastic. I'm also a two-time UNLV grad, so one of my other favorite things, and I think it's going to be great for the school. It's going to be a great community partnership, and they've also come to the table as a partner in this whole thing, so I think it's going to be great.
Any NFL stadium or any community you go to, you really need buy-in from everyone. And when we decided to make the move to Las Vegas, we kind of knew that this was a special market, and since we've been here, we've really seen the community, even with the Golden Knights success and kind of, just seeing the amount of Raider logos in the community and just some of the events that we're doing, we're really seeing that people here are really passionate about sports, they're passionate about football. People might be fans of other teams, but we're kind of seeing that the Raiders are really doing a lot of stuff to kind of bring people together, and the stadium really is going to create a lot of opportunities that can further that community bonding and things like that.
One reason that every piece had to fit perfectly is the flood culvert at the Raiders Stadium. It protects the Las Vegas Strip against flash flooding. Let's take a look at how the district protects the southwest of the valley and the Las Vegas Strip from flash flooding.
Nearly 40 million visitors spent time on the Las Vegas Strip last year, pouring money into the local economy and driving revenue to the entire state. There are numerous basins and channels protecting it. The one at the Las Vegas Stadium is just one piece of that protection.
The southwest part of the Las Vegas Valley has a lot of flood control facilities that were built through the Corps of Engineers project. This is an important project for us. All the flows that land in that southwest part of the valley flow down and funnel down into the Flamingo Wash, which flows through the resort corridor at Caesar's Palace, goes underneath Las Vegas Boulevard, and continues on through the city to Las Vegas Wash. So it was important for us to get a project put together that could help capture and control the flows that were coming out of the mountains and draining through that whole southwest part of the valley.
Back in the 1980s, the Regional Flood Control District began looking at a massive project to provide the needed protection to the region.
In 1991, we had a feasibility study that was done, which basically took a look at the benefits of building all these facilities versus the cost. And we could use that information, the benefit to cost ratio, to compare our project to other projects across the country in terms of whether it's worthy of getting federal funding.
The U.S. Army Corps accepted the study and sent it to Congress in 1995.
It's a $336 million project. The federal portion of it was 75%, which is about $252 million, and then the local agencies, which is the Regional Flood Control District and Clark County Public Works, paid the other 25%, or about $84 million. Pretty much any water that falls in the southwest part of the valley, and that would really be from like Red Rock Country Club all the way down to like Rhodes Ranch, that whole southwest part of the valley, it all funnels down through the resort corridor, which is very important to the Las Vegas area. As you know, we don't want flooding to occur there, and we want those areas to be flood resilient. And so collecting all of these flows and getting them contained and essentially tamed was important to us to make sure that it protected the economic vitality of the Las Vegas Valley.
The flood control developed with the Army Corps of Engineers provided so much coverage that 19 square miles of flood zone were removed.
So the core project overall included 3 new detention basins, 3 debris basins, and the expansion of 2 existing detention basins. And then along with that, 28 miles of channels and storm drains were built to take all that water that's being collected by those basins and funnel it through that southwest part of the Las Vegas Valley. It's true that the people that were removed from the flood zone are no longer required to buy flood insurance if they have a federally backed mortgage, but as you know, all property owners, whether you're in a flood zone or not, are allowed to get flood insurance. So you can still purchase that flood insurance at a minimum cost. That's about $1 a day to get flood insurance when you're not in a flood zone. We're proud of the fact that these facilities have really been working over the years. They've been tested many times, and so not only do these people not have to pay flood insurance, but they don't really have to deal with that risk of flooding as much anymore. They're much more resilient to the risk of flooding because of the existence of all these facilities. I know that we've had storm events in the southwest part of the valley that were multiple, 2 inches or more in just a few hours, very intense storm events. And those storms were handled by these flood control facilities very well. In the past, if those same storms were to hit, we would have had significant flooding throughout not just the southwest part of the valley, but all the way down Flamingo Wash to Las Vegas Wash.
Lake Mead is full of life, a seemingly endless aquatic parade, attracting and sustaining busy desert creatures. It's one of the most diverse ecosystems in Nevada, with species found nowhere else on Earth. But every time soap suds run down your driveway, oil drips in the streets, fertilizer washes off your lawn, or random trash gets swept in our storm sewers, their home gets a little uglier. They get a little sicker. If we don't take simple steps to change our ways, soon you'll wonder where all our friends have gone. It's time to clean up our act, Southern Nevada. To get your home or business lake-friendly certified, visit belakefriendly.com.
Mind the road. Flash flood season is here.
Contractors have to keep an eye to the skies at the stadium site. Any amount of rain can impact operations. Thankfully, it was a relatively dry winter.
The rain finally came back on January 9. After months of a prolonged dry spell, the entire Las Vegas Valley got more than an inch of rain in the 24-hour period between January 9 and 10. The rain was steady but moderate and stayed within flood control channels. The biggest problems were traffic accidents. It seemed motorists had forgotten how to drive on wet roads.
This storm ended a record stretch of 116 days where we had no precipitation at the airport. We received 1.33 inches of rain on January 9th, which broke the previous record for any date in January, and 1.47 inches for the entire storm on the 8th and 9th, which was over 1/3 of our average annual precipitation. Normally we experience about half of our annual precipitation during the monsoon season from July to September, and the other half of our annual precipitation occurs during the rest of the year. Oftentimes with storms like what we just experienced in January 8th and 9th. This one was particularly wet compared to some of them, although we've seen a lot more, at different times in the past. This was just a particularly strong one for this time of year.
During the monsoon season, a map of the Las Vegas Valley will usually show a few areas where heavy rain is falling. In January, the entire region got a taste of the rain.
The thing to note about storms like this that occur during the winter months is they tend to have a lot more widespread precipitation than just the localized effects of the storms that occur during the monsoon. While we had about 1.5 inches of rain at the airport, we had this was the kind of numbers we saw across the entire valley, whereas during a thunderstorm you may see it in little portions of the valley and not the entire valley at one time.
Overall, we had a very warm and very dry winter, but even during the driest spells, rain can lead to flooding in channels and washes. During the January 9 storm, several homeless people were rescued from channels that had filled with water.
We can still have flash flooding during the winter months because any rain that falls still runs off and runs into the flood control channels. We had, on January 9th, we did have several swiftwater rescues due to the rainfall. The flooding threat is not limited to the monsoon season, although the greatest threat is during the monsoon season.
The National Weather Service began keeping records in Las Vegas in 1937. The 116 days of no precipitation surpassed the old record of 92 days with just a trace of precipitation. And while we've had wetter Januaries, we haven't had a wetter 24-hour period as we had on January 9th. It's still too soon to tell what this year's monsoon season will bring.
It's tough to predict the monsoon and exactly how strong that's going to be this far out, but as of now, climatologically we expect it to be relatively dry and warm just throughout the whole period. With La Nina, we generally expect drier conditions around here, but again, that's just a general expectation. We can have wet La Nina years. A large factor, and this is why it is so difficult to predict the monsoon this far out, a large factor in terms of how much precipitation we get during the monsoon is driven by tropical activity. And tropical activity is, we can't predict where and when the storms are going to affect us this time of year. We live in a dry desert climate. Any rain can cause flooding, and even though we got 1.5 inches in one day, we've still been very dry for a long period of time. During calendar year 2017, we received just over half of our normal annual precipitation. So we're under a very dry stretch, and I don't see any reason that that's not going to continue.
Got Raider Mania yet? You can come here to Town Square and learn more about the Las Vegas Stadium. And for all things flood, you can always follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or go to our website at regionalflood.org.
Although my car almost tipped over on its top, it didn't. So you can see I'm floating down in the middle of this weather. I've called 911. They've told me to roll down my windows and stay in the car, and hopefully they'll be here soon.
Due to voting discrepancies, a special election will be held for the Republican nominee for Clark County Public Administrator. Republican voters will receive a ballot in the mail. When you receive your mail ballot, you can vote in one of three ways. Sign the provided postage-paid envelope and mail it in. Drop off your ballot at one of the following locations, or vote in person at the County Election Center. Ballots must be received by 7 p.m. on July 17. For more information, visit clarkcountynv.gov/vote or call 702-455-VOTE.
Welcome to Club Ride. Club Ride is a free employee benefits program that encourages and rewards the employees that would like to or currently carpooling, walking, biking, taking transit, or even motorcycling to and from work.
Club Ride has excellent programs and services for commuters,
such as Guaranteed Ride Home, Club Ride Discounts, Easy Rider, and the monthly price drawings.
Club Ride Rewards is a program that rewards commuters every month for clean green commutes to and from work. As a Club Ride member, you can win cash and prizes every month. it's a great thing.
Oh, we love winning the awards. We've been carpooling over 11 years now.
You were doing it before it was the thing to do.
I think I'm the better driver.
No, I'm the better driver.
Carpooling was just kind of a natural thing. We could ride to work, we could talk to one another on our way, and saved us time and gas. But that extra prize makes it extra fun.
I was carpooling before it was cool, and before we got the Rockstar parking for carpooling. Club Ride has this really cool website. You go in and you log your trips each week, and it calculates for you how much money you've saved, how much of an impact you've had on the environment in terms of less emissions and so on. So I know for a fact I've saved $300 each year carpooling.
After 20 years of driving in Las Vegas traffic, I think I'd had enough and I was ready for a change. I currently commute by taking the new transit buses. There's a new park and ride in my neighborhood, so I just drive over there and hop on the bus.
I commute with this bad boy right here. My employer not only supports it, she lets me park my bicycle right in my closet at work. I love the Club Ride discount program because I get to use it at Jason's Deli, Cold Stone Creamery, and then I'm even able to use it at my bike shop, Bicycle World. I wish I would have learned about it earlier.
One of the great benefits for employers is the outreach that we do. We set up a table, we give away free t-shirts, we talk to them, we educate them about the program, and then of course the incentives that are available to them. Once employers realize what we do for them, they love it.
Club Ride is extremely successful at Bellagio. We've been a partner with Club Ride since 1999, and currently we have about 1,200 employees enrolled. We provide our employees with reserved parking, bike racks, motorcycle area, as well as pre-tax payroll deduction for the passes.
I think the Club Ride program is very well thought out, very well engineered. Cox is really committed to being a Club Ride partner. We have swipe machines at every entrance where employees can log their commutes. We also have bicycle racks. We have the ability for employees to work compressed work weeks and flexible schedules. And we have pool vehicles that are available for those employees that commute who need a vehicle to use to visit a customer or to go to another office.
Having a strong commute options program is really important to the city of Henderson. Currently, we have over 400 of our employees that are enrolled in the Club Ride program. We have lots of prize winners every month, and I really make a big deal about it. I hand deliver all the prizes. They're just really excited, especially if one of the other employees sees that they're getting this prize. That kind of motivates them and they want to be part of that.
I'm Joan with Cox Communications. I'm proud to be a carpooler, and I think you should be too.
Less traffic and cleaner air, and that's a good thing.
Less traffic, cleaner air. Carpooling is a good thing.
I'm Joey over at the Rio, and I love being a Club Ride member.
I'm Bill with Cox Communications, and we're a proud partner with Club Ride.
Commute options are a good thing. Partner with Club Ride today.
To find out more, visit the Club Ride website.
Or call 228-RIDE or go to your HR office and speak to your transportation coordinator.
That's a wrap. That sounds good. That's a wrap.
Or can I do like Janis Joplin? That's all, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no secret to this next trick. Hard hat, check. Tank, check. Building permit. Uh-oh. Never fear, Magic fans. They're in here somewhere. Voila! But don't try this at home. There's no secret to building permits. Even I need them.
On the next edition of Clark County Chronicles, flash flood season is here, an annual reminder to turn around, don't drown. Operation Mustang was an extraordinary full-scale drill testing our first responders, and the Las Vegas Aces are already assisting our young future basketball stars. Those stories and more coming up on the next edition of Clark County Chronicles, right here on Clark County Television.
Drowning is the leading cause of death in young children in southern Nevada. Remember these safety steps. Patrol. Always have an adult actively watching children in the water. Protect. Provide defensive barriers between your child and the pool. Prepare. Create a water safety plan for your family. Enroll children in swimming classes. And equip your pool with safety equipment. Be ready to call 911 in an emergency. Keep it fun and safe all year long. Visit GetHealthyClarkCounty.org.
Thanks for watching Clark County Television, Southern Nevada's best access to local government and the community.
Hello and welcome to Waterways, the Southern Nevada Water Authority's news information program. I'm your host, Scott Huntley. In this half hour of Waterways, get off your grass and earn some cash with an increased rebate from the SNWA. We'll show you how to replace your thirsty grass with desert landscaping in 3 easy steps. New home technologies can help you save water with very little effort. Learn how water-smart homes are designed for the earth-conscious homebuyer. Plus, avoid the most common water waste issues with our irrigation tips. And get water smart with a controller that helps you manage your outdoor water use. Ready to water less and save more? Replace your water-intensive lawn with drought-tolerant landscaping and earn some cash. The SNWA now offers $3 for every square foot of grass you replace with desert plants. Crystal Zelke has more on the boosted incentive.
There's no better time to get off your grass and earn some cash. The Southern Nevada Water Authority increased the amount of its Water Smart Landscapes rebate. Don't wait to apply. It's easy and water smart. As the historic drought continues to impact Lake Mead's water levels, Valley residents are asked to step up their conservation efforts even more. To help, the SNWA's Board of Directors approved an increase to the Water Smart Landscapes rebate program. Under new program guidelines, applicants can earn up to $3 for every square foot of turf they convert to Water Smart Landscaping, up to 10,000 square feet per project, and $1.50 for every square foot over that. The maximum incentive for any property in a fiscal year is $300,000. The SNWA created the Water Smart Landscapes rebate program in 1999 to encourage homeowners and businesses to convert their water-guzzling lawn to Water Smart Landscaping. Since then, Southern Nevadans have replaced more than 185 million square feet of turf, enough to cover 94% of the Earth's circumference. In total, the program has helped our community save more than 119 billion gallons of water.
As we look at the forecasts and projections for the Colorado River, there's a greater than 50% probability that we will see a shortage condition within the next couple of years. And that means that there will be less water available from Lake Mead. But we'll be able to continue to meet water demands even under shortage conditions because of conservation. I mean, Southern Nevada has reduced its water use by 26%, and that has allowed us to be able to be well prepared for any shortage conditions on the horizon. And while we may be one of the most water efficient communities in the nation, we've got more work to do. It's conservation that has prepared us for coming shortages, and it's conservation that's going to keep us ahead of the curve.
With the increased rebate, there's no better time to replace your unquenchable grass. For most of us, the bulk of water use occurs outdoors in our landscapes. In the summertime, 70 to 90% of the average residential water bill can be attributed to outdoor usage. The biggest culprit? Thirsty grass. The best way to reduce that water use? A Water Smart landscape. You could cut your water use by up to 75% and eliminate weekly mowing and heavy maintenance. The SNWA estimates a water-efficient landscape can save homeowners approximately 55 gallons of water per square foot per year. Those savings add up. For an average 1,000 square foot conversion, that's 55,000 gallons of water saved every year.
Well, what people don't realize is that here in Southern Nevada, people are typically putting 8 to 10 or 12 feet of water on their lawns. And so it's important that we have lawns only where we need and use them. But where they're purely ornamental, we've got a lot of other beautiful plants can do that job on a fraction of the water.
It's okay to keep some grass areas in your WaterSmart landscape, but if the only time you walk on your grass is to mow it, it's probably not a functional part of your outdoor living space. No matter how much grass you decide to convert, it's easy to get started. First, enroll online or call our Conservation Helpline for a printed application. Once the completed application is received, SNWA will schedule a site review visit to evaluate your lawn and conversion areas and answer any questions you may have. You must participate in the pre-conversion site visit before removing your lawn. Next, dig in. You have 1 year to complete your conversion.
So there's 3 key elements when you do a landscape conversion in our program. The first is the irrigation system. So you're taking out a spray system that's watering the grass that uses a lot of water, and you're converting it to a drip system that's much more efficient. The second thing is you're removing the grass and putting in some type of mulch. So you're using either rock or bark or artificial turf, but some type of material instead of grass. And the final thing is we do require plants.
Need inspiration? Visit the Springs Preserve Botanical Garden to see the variety of plants that thrive in our desert climate. Experts give free guided walk tours each Saturday and Sunday, but the garden also is open daily to venture on your own. You may want to take a free drip irrigation class that equips you with the skills to design and install a drip watering system. Once you complete your landscape, you can cash in. The added benefit is the long-term savings.
Grass uses 2 to 3 times as much water as desert landscaping, so you pay more in your water bill. So if you're thinking about saving, definitely look at converting. We provide a lot of tools that help you do that in design and just giving you different ideas. There's a lot of variability with desert landscaping that you don't have in grass. So there's a lot of incentives and a lot of things that will help you to convert and to give you the tools necessary to do it.
If you're ready to save water in a big way, there's no better way than a WaterSmart landscape. With the SNWA's $3 rebate, saving water has never been so easy and so rewarding. Reporting for Waterways, I'm Crystal Zelke.
Conservation continues to be our biggest tool in the fight against drought. And as you'll see in our newest ad campaign, the community's efforts to save resources is one of the reasons Southern Nevada is prepared to meet the challenges.
A drop of water is where it starts. And that drop of water, well, it makes a ripple of difference. It's essential to keep conserving for our future, one drop at a time. So thank you, Southern Nevada, and stay water smart.
Summer watering restrictions allow customers to water landscapes up to 6 days a week through August 31st. Sunday watering is prohibited. Time of day restrictions also prohibit watering between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. However, you may water heat-stressed plants and grass with a handheld hose anytime. Here are a few more tips to water wisely this summer. Keep an eye on your landscape and increase watering only as needed. Beat the heat and set your irrigation clock to water before sunrise. And shut off your sprinklers on rainy and windy days to save as much as 500 gallons of water a day. It's easy to waste water in the summer and not even realize it. Residents and businesses commonly run irrigation more often and for longer periods of time, which often leads to wasteful runoff. Avoid the most common water waste issues with these tips from Jason Gifford.
As the record drought continues to loom in southern Nevada, it's more important than ever to guard against water waste. We can all help to reduce water waste by reporting it when we see it and fixing our own irrigation issues before they become bigger problems. On average, Valley residents use about 70 to 90% of their water outside in a typical month. That means outdoors is where residents have the greatest potential to conserve water. Mandatory watering restrictions help our community conserve water and reduce water waste. While ordinances vary slightly by jurisdiction, water waste is broadly defined as water that flows or sprays off of your property. Common violations that may result in a water waste fee include watering outside of assigned watering days and violating time of day restrictions. Landscape watering is prohibited between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. May 1st to August 31st. Sunday is not an optional watering day. Oftentimes, customers are unaware they're wasting water. But overwatering is an obvious water waster even to the untrained eye. Standing or pooling water can be seen, or water sheets off sidewalks and curbs when the turf and hard soil can't absorb the excess water fast enough. Overwatering is the result of applying too much water to your landscape. So, what is the right amount? It all depends on the type of grass, root depth, degree of the slope, soil quality, sun exposure, and more. That may sound complicated, but to avoid overwatering, simply test your irrigation system. The Water Authority recommends the cycle and soak method for lawns. Set your sprinklers to water 3 times a day, 4 minutes each cycle, at least 1 hour apart. These shorter sips of water are better for turf because the water absorbs faster and creates a healthier lawn. It also helps to keep water from flowing off the lawn and into the gutter where it can't be recovered. Inspect your grass with the sprinklers running to see if it needs more or less water. To customize your watering cycles, manually turn on your first sprinkler station and begin timing the run immediately. Monitor how many minutes elapse before water begins to pool or run off. Stop the cycle at that point and subtract a minute. That's your run time for that station. Repeat the process for each station since run times may vary. Allow the water to fully soak in before running another cycle. This generally takes about an hour. Drip emitters watering plants can also cause runoff. If you notice pooling water, you may need to move drip heads away from the sidewalk or reduce the run time. If dry spots crop up, ensure there are no misaligned heads and hand water them instead of running sprinklers longer. To help your lawn absorb water, aerate at least twice a year in spring and fall. This process of punching out cores of soil allows water and nutrients to flow more completely into the root zone rather than off of it. Another common water waste issue is overspray. To isolate an overspray problem, test key components of your irrigation system. Sprinklers can easily twist or turn. Briefly turn on your irrigation system after each mowing. Adjust any misaligned sprinklers by turning with the firm grip of your hand or gently turn them with pliers. Check your drip system too. If drip heads popped off and you see water shooting into the wall or street, make sure a pressure regulator is installed on the drip system. Improper nozzles are another cause of overspray. If overspray leads to water waste, you may have the wrong nozzle for the size or shape of your turf area. Manufacturers indicate nozzle measurements by color, crosshatch patterns, or numerals and more. It can be confusing, so ask a pro if you're not sure what you need. For uniformity, it's best to stick with the same brand and not mix and match parts. The next common water waste problem is one property owners dread: an irrigation leak. One indicator of a leak is an area of your landscape that's more green or wet and marshy than other areas. Many times a leak shows up more gradually as a slow but consistent trickle of water. It's often noticeable near the curb or street, since this is typically a landscape's lowest point and that's where water gathers. A leak then trickles down into the gutter. Whether or not you can fix a leak yourself depends on your comfort level and willingness to literally dig into the problem. You may have to remove a fair-sized chunk of grass to get down into your system and find the source of the leak. You could have a broken sprinkler or perhaps a break in the irrigation line itself. If in doubt, you may want to call in a professional. Obstructed spray patterns are another water waster. One common sight is a sprinkler that shoots onto something other than the grass. The solution might be as straightforward as installing a nozzle with a different reach, angle, or spray pattern. But spray obstruction is often the result of inappropriate design for that area, so you may need to change your design or relocate an irrigation line to resolve it. Low-lying sprinklers also can cause obstructed spray patterns. Water only hits a few nearby blades of grass instead of the entire irrigation zone intended for that sprinkler head. Retrofit existing sprinkler heads or install 4-inch tall pop-ups to effectively water the area. For more information about how to water more efficiently, visit snwa.com. If you see water waste anywhere in the valley, report it to your water provider or call SNWA's Conservation Helpline at 702-258-SAVE. You can also fill out a report online at snwa.com. Reporting for Waterways, I'm Jason Gifford.
Your irrigation controller can also help you avoid water waste, especially in summer when homeowners tend to overwater their landscapes. Jen Inaba explains how a smart irrigation controller can help you manage your outdoor water use and make it easier to comply with seasonal watering restrictions.
Make landscape watering easier with a clock that's smarter than the rest. A smart irrigation controller automatically adjusts your landscape watering so you don't have to. Be water smart and money smart when you invest in this newer technology with an instant rebate from the SNWA. In the summer, between 70 and 90% of your home's water bill can be generated by outdoor water use, especially if you still have grass here in the desert. Seasonal watering restrictions help Southern Nevada curb water waste, but there's much more to using resources wisely. For instance, installing the right irrigation system for your landscape's needs and adjusting your irrigation clock seasonally are key components to water conservation. If you have an older irrigation system, it may be time to replace the heart of that system, your controller, with new technology. A variety of smart irrigation controllers can take a lot of the work off your hands. These state-of-the-art controllers automatically adjust watering run times in response to environmental changes. They use sensors or weather data to manage watering times and frequency. Smart controllers can turn off your sprinkler system when it rains, which is useful during the valley's monsoon season. Some of them will also shut off if winds gust or temperatures dip.
Smart irrigation controllers is a new technology in irrigation controllers. Your traditional controllers has a fixed schedule, so you put in what days of the week you want to water, how long you want to water, things like that are set, and it stays like that until you change it again. Smart irrigation controllers actually have weather input, and so weather actually will kind of dictate what your schedule is. So you will put in what type of plants you have, what type of irrigation system you have, and the controller will come up with a schedule. By having a smart irrigation controller, you can save thousands of gallons of water. So on a residential property, you can save between 10 and 20% of your water. So throughout a year, you're talking 20, 30,000 gallons of water. On large properties like commercial and multifamily, they can save hundreds of thousands of gallons of water a year. So there's big savings from a smart irrigation controller.
The Southern Nevada Water Authority offers a rebate coupon to help you upgrade to a smart controller. In many cases, the rebate will pay up to half the cost of the controller. Find out which controllers qualify, get program details, and print the rebate form at snwa.com. Saving money is easy. You'll receive an instant rebate when you bring your coupon to participating retailers. But if you purchase a smart controller from a non-participating retailer, you can still mail in your rebate form. The good news about smart controllers is they get smarter with time. With smart technology on the rise, monitoring your landscape is as simple as tapping into your phone, tablet, or computer. New apps now help residents remotely control their home irrigation system.
New smart irrigation controllers are controlled by apps. So you can put it on your phone or a tablet, and you can control your whole system without having to go in the garage. That's one of the big barriers, is people hate going in the garage 2 or 3 times a year and having to change their controller. Now you can do it from the app on your phone. And so by doing that, it gives you better access. When we change our watering schedules throughout the year, you have easy access. It's easy to go in and change it right there and not having to go in the garage.
The Environmental Protection Agency stamps qualifying irrigation controllers with its Water Sense label to help consumers make water-smart choices that save money and maintain high environmental standards. The EPA says Water Sense labeled irrigation controllers can save an average home nearly $8,800 annually. As with Water Sense labeled products, EPA independently certifies irrigation